Hello and welcome, this is Mercenary, and we're back with some more BattleTech. We're picking up right where we left off in the last video, where we are in a mission to kill a mech. This mech was a possible trap. We killed it very quickly. That only took about a turn once we got into a combat to do. And now we have to deal with the reinforcements. And so far, we only know about 2 light mechs. So this is the beginning of the turn. One of the light mechs has already moved, and we're going to wait for the other one here, which we know is a fire starter. We've already hit it a little bit. We don't know what this one is, but it's going to be a locus of some type. There's the fire starter. Not sure if it got vision or not. I guess we'll find out. There is at least one other medium mech, maybe 2. We haven't seen it yet, so I don't really know. Probably quite a bit slower than these lighter mechs. Okay. Let's start off.
Ready for orders.
At this point, I think we might as well just move up and get vision of the 2 enemy mechs. So I will do so. And then we'll decide off of that what we're going to do with them.
Position confirmed.
Sensor lock is probably the wiser move.
Incoming bandit.
Oh, okay, we got the sensor contact. Okay, it's 2 medium mechs of some description. We don't really know because this guy doesn't have good enough tactics to know that, as we haven't leveled him up enough. Well, as I said, we could fire and we'd burn through 1 evasion, or we could sensor lock and make it an easier target. I think we hit. Let's just go for it. Okay. Our other pilots have, I think, good enough gunnery skill that they should be able to get through a couple evasion points.
What's up, boss?
Okay, time to move the hunchback up. This is going to do a lot of potential damage.
On my way.
I'm going to use vigilance in this circumstance because the hunchback is likely going to be a target here. So we'll do that. It'll also give us another shot off. Firm. Okay, I am going to multi-target, and I'm going to sling 1 medium laser at the locust just to burn down some evasion. So you're going to be a target of most everything, and then you are going to be just a target of one of these guys. Okay, fire away.
Affirmative.
Took out one of the legs, so that guy's going to go down. Now his guard doesn't matter, nor does his evasion. Did manage to hit there as well. Good, and we got a crit. Wow.
Critical hit, Commander.
Okay. Now for the follow-ups. I'm going to try and do the kill with my mech. Ooh. Not sure how he selected the other guy. Guess I accidentally clicked somewhere. You know what? I'd rather move into the woods. So I'm going to move up and I'm going to sling everything at the locust, I think. I don't think that locust is going to live more than another turn here. Alright, let's try and get him. Well, that doesn't help. The locust survivability. Okay, now for Glitch. Glitch is going to split her fire. Fire. You're A, you're B, and then it's going to be B. Fire away.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that guy's dead. Good, we didn't actually destroy any of the flamers, so we'll get all of the flamers possibly. The locust is miraculously still alive. Not for long, though.
Good to go.
As a hunchback, we'll make sure that that's not the case. Go ahead and move into the woods here.
On my way.
I'm going to fire everything here, but this is going to be like such overkill, it's going to be ridiculous, because this version of the Locust doesn't have much armor to begin with, and I think these guys even started with half armor, perhaps. This is just going to be an absolute devastation We'll even go for the center torso.
Taking the shot.
Ah, damn. Let's do this.
Okay. Well, at this point, we might as well reserve for our enemy,
Reserving action.
as we can sensor lock them as they get up here. Oh, that's a good shot there.
Lots of armor.
All right, well, we know who we're going to shoot at now. So, you are going to move. I'm even to jump just to get a little further away. We're going to lose our vision, but
Here we go.
I'll be able to sensor lock the guy. And, yeah, you're probably going to be an easy target now for full damage.
Got a sensor
Yeah,
lock.
only half armor, too. I feel too good. We're done with you. Okay. So move up into the woods here. Got a blackjack, huh? I'm gonna go ahead and use vigilance. Myself, some guard, but also the ability to beat these guys initiative-wise.
All weapons committed.
This guy has no defenses, so we might as well just open up on him with everything. Okay.
Good to go.
Probably we're out of sensor range, so we need to move up.
Moving out.
Alright. Again, unload with everything on the one guy.
Roger that. Firing on target.
Okay, he's almost knocked down.
When I shoot you, you'll take it and like it.
Yeah, I don't think this combat's gonna last too long, especially as they only had half armor. Alright, so in this case, I'm gonna attack again, and then I'm gonna move away, where they can retaliate. It's gonna have to be a walk, though.
Enemy mech.
Ah, I'm not quite knocked down, huh?
Detected.
Alright. Not sure what the best move is here. I mean, I guess I'll do this move, but they may be able to get in behind me. Okay. Oh, let's reserve. Okay, reserve again. These two are at the same speed, so unless this guy jumps, he's not going to be able to see anything. More than likely. Alright, start this off with, yeah, just get vision of both. Hit the Vindicator, as that's the one we want to take out. All right.
Standing by.
And get into a position to attack the blackjack. I'll go ahead and do that.
Aye, aye.
Fire.
Roger.
Then I'm going to split my my fire
Waiting on you,
with
Commander.
the trebuchet. I'm going to go A and B and 1 to B. Fire.
No problem. I've got enough guns for everyone.
Okay. I'm surprised this pilot's still alive, but oh well.
Aye, aye.
I am very tempted to just jump in here and hit this guy from the rear. We have a real chance of him just attacking me, though, with a melee attack. And I'm not likely going to finish him off. Although, with a concentrated fire on his side like that, what would be our chance there? We could take out the one torso section, and the mech would lose a decent amount of its firepower if we're lucky. If I had the precision strike, I'd do this without a question. But now, I don't know. I don't think these guys would be able to finish me off, that's for sure. I'll go for it.
Jump jets.
We're on the fire now. Well, we've got that opportunity.
Roger that.
Okay, not enough to get done what I wanted to do, but we'll see. Alright, no surprise here. He's going to come over and hit me. Now, of all the things he could have done, that actually does the least damage to me.
Barely hit, Commander.
And he just put his back to me, so the behemoth is going to make him pay for that. For sure.
Commander.
As a matter of fact, let's move in here and hit him with everything we got.
Heading out.
Small laser 2. I don't think that black guy's going to be alive very much longer. Goodbye.
Let's hit him hard.
One less target.
Hit him so hard, he sunk into the ground. Alright.
What can I do for you?
I think the target here is pretty obvious. Good night.
And stay down.
All targets down, Commander. Good shooting.
Mission successful.
Pretty easy. It kind of shows you where we are competency level with a 2.5 skull mission. What I think that's probably the lowest difficulty for a 2.5 skull mission you could have. The opponents all had half armor. It was much more on equal numbers, although technically they outnumbered me. It was 5-4. It was pretty close to equal numbers. That's as low as of difficulty I think you're going to see there. I think the height of your difficulty at 2.5 skulls is they have full armor and it's 2-to-1 odds. And that very well can happen to you, and that's the variance you can see in difficulty. And that's, you know, sometimes the challenge of this game. As very wide sweeping difficulty. You might think, oh, well, we just stomped a couple missions at 2.5 skulls. In particular, this mission, we just stomped these guys. And you might think, oh, well, then their 3-skull mission's not going to be that hard. And then you get the highest difficulty you can get it for a 3-skull mission, and it's a major problem. All right, well, let's move on. All right, so mechs here. To be totally honest with you, I don't know if I really care about that. I do care about a flamer that gives me more damage. Anything else here? Nothing jumps out at me. I mean, it's good to get chassis parts just from the standpoint that you can sell them later if you want to. But I'm actually tempted to get the other flamer. Not worth anything though, so that's kind of dumb. Well, I guess I'll pick up the Hunchback part just because it's probably worth more. And then we'll go with that. Okay, we got a Vindicator part as well. And a machine gun and a couple other things. Okay. Alright, with that mission completed, that should be all the contracts within this system. So we will be traveling, which will give us an opportunity to do some refits and other things that I've been putting off. But do these guys like me more now? Okay, that's cool. Where is this? Landmark. I'm going to assume this is also, yeah, landmark. Alright, well, that's interesting, but if I remember my star map correctly, that is in the opposite direction of where we end up wanting to go. Yeah, so that's up there, and our priority mission is down here, so tempted to go here because I do want to eventually go here, but I think we're going to end up going to do our priority mission because we could really do with the cash that we can get from that contract. It was over 2 million if I remember correctly. All right. With that being said, let's start working on some of the things I've been putting off, one of which is the ship upgrades. We didn't have a lot of money before, and now we have a little bit of money. Not a lot. It's going to take us some time to travel to where we need to be. So I do have to pay at least one of those monthly payments before we get where we're going. So I'm going to guess that some of these systems that we have grayed out is going to require me to do, one of these two things, which I don't think we can afford. For example, this actually requires, it looks like both of them, and it's expensive. I'm going to assume these are expensive. So really, it's going to be these that are probably more affordable. Let's check that. Okay, so the gymnasium is only $225. This is a little bit more pricey. Okay, it's $225. So we have a couple that we could do while we travel. Let's start with the gymnasium. Let's read what it has to say. Mech warriors have to maintain their physical condition, and doing so in their own quarters is claustrophobic and distracting. Luckily, the Argo has a full gymnasium, needing only repair and power. Suspect a solid majority of the complaints I've received from the mech warriors are simple idleness. With fitness facilities, I could solve that idleness for them, Commander, if you take my meaning. Okay, we'll go with this one. It's going to take 15 days to finish, and it doesn't have that much of an average cost either.
Sure thing. It'll take a bit,
all right.
We'll get it done.
So now that we've done that, the next thing I'd like to do is some refitting. And while I'm at it, you know what? I'm going to send the fire starter down into storage, as we're more than likely not going to be using it anymore. And just free up that slot. That way we don't have to pay fees to have it here. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is swapping the Trebuchet for the Yager mech. Trebuchet was our frontline support mech. Now it's going to be a backup mech. So to do that, I'm going to remove the special LRM-15s, and those are going to end up in the Yager mech. And then we're going to swap out the AC-2s for the AC-5s. That's pretty much the game plan. So let's remove some of the stuff that we're not going on. So just normal LRM-15s here. One there, and one there. One there. Okay. All done. That's going to take 4 days. So I suspect the Yager mech will take more than that because we're going to have more systems we'll be moving around.
On it. I'll let you
Okay.
know when that's done.
Now let's do this refit. Alright, so AC-2s need to go, the LRM-15s need to go, and the ammo for the AC-2 needs to go. Let's start with the ballistic weapon, because it's right here. And I'm going to fit in the one that does the extra stability damage, because that's a lot of stability damage. It's going to be 30, which is greater than a standard AC-10, so I think that's quite good. Stability damage is pretty nice. As we've seen, knocking down an opponent makes them very vulnerable, and you can take advantage of that. And we also have the extra accuracy to make these hits more likely to happen. Okay, it doesn't really matter which arm I put it in. I guess I'll put it in the right arm. And then we need the ammo. And for that, I'm going to put it in this torso section. That way, if we lose the torso section, we're losing the weapon that is running that ammo. If we put the ammo over here, we lose this torso section, but we have the weapon, which wouldn't matter because we wouldn't be able to run it. There'd be no ammo. So we'll go with this setup. And then let's turn off the ballistic weapons because we don't need them anymore. And then the LRM-15s. So I'll put the higher damage one over in this arm. So we're spreading out our damage a little bit. And then we're putting this over here. And then we need 1 more ton of ammo so that we're on par with, I guess we'll put it over there, with the, what the Trebuchet had before. All right, and we have 3 tons to work with, and based off of where our heat efficiency is, I think we just put those into heatsink. We do have this heat bank, which I could try out. Now, it doesn't actually give me heat dissipation, so if we have poor heat efficiency, that's not really going to do much for us. And it does take a ton, which could be a heatsink. Oh, well, interesting. The heat efficiency really jumps up. But really, I don't know if that's a great indicator of how heat efficient this thing would be when we're done, because it's only a max heat efficiency of 10, which is just a single medium laser. That's not really a whole lot. and it's only giving you 5 for the overheat threshold. So I really don't know if that's as good as just doing heat sinks. I think that's what I'm going to do. Heat sink, thing. Oh, you know what? While I'm at it, I guess I could put the comm system in here. And from a role-playing standpoint, that doesn't make sense, because you have the scout having one comm system, and then you have the support mech having the other, and that way, if we're going to role-play it, they're linked together, and, you know, providing themselves, the scouts providing the support mech, the intel to fire on the enemy. Again, that's a role-play. It doesn't really affect the gameplay outside of just a morale bonus. Okay, and then we have one more heat sink we can do. I guess I'll put it in the middle here. All right, there we go. Heat efficiency is a little bit better. Firepower is a little bit better. We lose some average range. And that's because we swapped out the AC2s, which are the longest range weapons available, with a shorter range AC5. And the firepower is probably more the LRM-15 here. All right, that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and confirm. So that's going to take 7 days to finish. I didn't rename the mech, but we really didn't change its functionality that much that I think a name is new name's in order. And we don't have more than one Yager mech, so I don't really need to make a distinction between the two. All right, so that's all of the refitting I wanted to do. I don't think there's anything else to do unless we want to go to the store, and we could do that. I bet you we have, one thing I didn't check, I bet you we have a lot of equipment to sell. In particular, jump jets and heat sinks. Because we get a lot of that from salvage, and yeah, we've got 40 here and 60 here. In particular, the jump jets. We don't need anywhere near that many. Let's sell a bunch of these. I'm going to stop at, let's say, 25. That's still probably way more than we need. But there may be a point where we're not getting as many of these standard jump jets, and we may be losing them from combat. So, yeah, that's probably good enough. And then heat sinks, I'll sell, I guess, 10. We do need heat sinks more commonly, so we'll sell 10 of these. The likelihood we're going to get more heat sinks is pretty high because there's always going to be heat sinks. Whereas with the jump jets, there is a difference between standard and heavy jump jets. So if we're facing heavier mechs, they may have jump jets. Not as many heavy mechs have jump jets too, but it's not going to be the same thing. So they're not interchangeable. All right. Now that we've done that and we have gotten a little bit of our money back up to almost where it was, let's go ahead and do the travel now. So I think I am going to go ahead and do this one because it's 2.2 million, and we really need the cash. It's 37 days though, whereas how much is this? 23 days. And once we travel to Landmark, it might not be as much of a travel to then jump over to the priority mission. But you know what? I just want to go to the priority mission and get that done. Because if eventually, if we can open up more space, that'd be great. Because at this point, the Capellan Confederation and the Federated Suns like me, and I'd like to be able to take advantage of that to actually have access to the space. Right now, we're locked out on that. So the main way we do that is by doing these priority missions. So let's go ahead and travel here. Now, this is a lot of time, so I expect we're going to hit an event at some point, maybe more than one. So I guess we'll find out. I didn't really change the order here because it's all going to get done before we get to the system, so no need to do that. We'll get Decker back as well. Okay, well, no events so far. Ship upgrade's going to be done here. Now, if there's an event that costs us a lot of money, that could be a problem. But I'm going to go ahead and do the next ship upgrade anyway. Okay, so I think we're just going to do the library here. As, again, that's, you know, a little bit cheaper, something we can afford in case something happens. So purchase that.
All right, I'll get the team.
And that will probably get done before we get there. Let's see how much more time we have. Yeah, 22 days. So more than have enough time for that. Now, I probably won't do any more ship upgrades beyond that, though, because it's another 12 days, and I don't know if I'm going to have enough money to do anything like that. I mean, I could do it and be on, like, the slimmest of margins of having money, but, yeah, I prefer not to. Still jumping along. Ah, there we go. There is our event. Now this one seems familiar, but I read it anyway. The Argo's current budget includes a line item for crew entertainment. So after pulling the morning briefing for preferences, Darius places an order. Soon, a shipment of popular new Holovid chips from Flom arrives, a mix of action, historical drama, horror, screwball comedies, and animated features. So we could circulate to the crew, we could do a mass viewing in the mess, we could schedule a regular Holovid night in the lounge. I believe we've done that before. I'm fairly certain this event has happened before, but we didn't have the upgraded lounge before, so reserve the private screening room for the senior staff. Is that better? Because this sounds like it'd be open to everybody, and this sounds like it'd be exclusive. I'm gonna do it because we didn't have this before, but I'm actually curious if it would be a better choice. Okay. You join Yang and Darius in the lounge to watch a new drama set during the Second Succession War. The hero is a young, idealistic Davian struggling against far greater forces. I wonder if the movies change every time this happens. Darius is amused by how often the boy makes emotional speeches, while Yang provides commentary on the Holovid special effects. That's so obviously fake. A Shadowhawk wouldn't fall over like that. The hip actuators are all wrong. Blowing them out would make it stagger to the side. You know, you don't have to watch this, Darius says. What? But I'm having so much fun. Okay, we get no morale. Yeah, but I wonder if the movies that you get, like even if you pick the same thing, I bet you the movies are different to like kind of vary up what the event is. Because I do know there's a certain element of randomization with this, because there were, with other campaigns I've done, I had the same events happen, and I picked even the same thing, and different events happen. So I'm fairly certain that this probably changes. Maybe the result is the same, but the text is probably different. Okay. Let's continue. I don't know if we're going to have another event after that. But thankfully it didn't cost me any money, so that's good. We get some morale, which is also good, because we pay quite a bit of money for morale. At this point, we're paying about 200,000 per morale point that we're getting with these upgrades. And also, that's about as much as it costs you to increase morale through the financial choices. So, I mean, hey, I'll take it. Okay, well that's completed. As I said, I think where our money is at, I could probably afford it, but not right before financial report. So at least let's do the financial report. And where we're at in morale, I think I'm just going to go with a standard payment. I don't think it really would help us. Well, I mean, it always helps to have morale, but I don't think it's as necessary.
I've got the financial report.
Okay, so it's going to cost us 400,000. We're down to 800,000. So at this point, it cost me 500,000, a little over that, to do normal. Okay, we'll accept that. So we could do a ship upgrade, and we get 9 days of progress. Let's just take a real quick look at it. What we have available. So we have a couple more morale things. One thing is an improved library, which is going to cost me 450,000. And again, it's for one morale. So I'm not sure we're going to go down that route just yet. Other than that, we have a mech bay, which I'm going to assume is very expensive. Yeah, way expensive. So that's not going to happen. Couldn't even afford it if I wanted to. We have the structure. That's more affordable, and I could do it. And that would open up other things, which we're probably going to need to do eventually anyway. And then the power systems, that's beyond, I mean, we'd have almost no money left. I could do it, but it'd be kind of silly. Yeah, all right, you know what? We'll go with the structure. It is cutting things a little close. We are banking a lot on this priority mission, but we're going to be doing a priority mission that will pay us well. So, yeah, I'll go with it. It's going to take 30 days to do, so that's a lot of time. Better do it now than later. All right. We'll probably get messages from Darius now saying, oh, you're going to run out of money. But we won't really.
Our nest egg is just about gone.
Yeah, I know. Just talked about that. Thank you very much. Okay, we're off the jump ship now. And we've got a few more days now to go.
We're nearly broke, Commander.
Yeah, I know. Thank you.
Now entering synchronous orbit.
Okay, of course we're not going to do this just yet, as I think this is a good point to wrap things up. I'm noticing that the ship is looking better as I'm doing these upgrades. Notice that this pod looks a lot better than that pod. There are 3 pods, so we haven't done the 3rd one yet, so that's probably the last one to do, but they all used to look like this, so kind of cool that is the case, and obviously the rest of the ship is looking a lot better as well, and I'd imagine some of these other things are going to get better once we finish this last of the structural things. We'll probably see some difference with that as well. In any case, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. This is Mercenary, signing out.